Greetings from EA Sports. Welcome to the game.
Thanks for the update, JB. Well, John, looks like we're all set.
Yep, both of these teams look ready to go. The teams have taken the field and are ready for today's first kickoff. Let's head to the field. He gets it off. They'll start the drive from the 25. Leslie, what have you heard?
Pat, I was able to catch up with the head coach prior to today's game, and he told me that this week was filled with distractions for his players, but he felt that they'd overcome them. They had a solid week of practice. It will be interesting to see if it affects them on the field. Pat?
Thanks, Leslie. George gets the toss. Dawkins makes the stop at the 31. Ball in their own 31. He's looking to throw. Greasy lets it fly.
Right, 21 on 2. Right.
Using motion. He gets the carry. George through the middle. That run didn't get him much.
Yeah, there was a defender in every gap ready to make the tackle on that play.
The visiting team will punt it here. Warwick felt the defense bearing down on him there.
He did the right thing, concentrated and caught the ball.
Inside left, 27 on 2. Right.
McNabb sets up. And he gets the toss. Minter calls him down behind the line. He ran sideways there.
Yeah, and that's not the way you want to go. But against this defense, you don't have a heck of a lot of choices.
Right.
Second and 10. And he gets the toss. Nice play by James.
Yeah, he has a great sense of how the play is developing, and he takes full advantage of the open field. Let me tell you, that was a great play.
I left think wide 30 on 1. Right.
McNabb drops back with the pass. Minter with the takedown at the 38. James is so good at catching the ball out of the backfield.
That's one of the reasons he's such a great back. He's a threat as both a runner and a receiver.
First and 10. Four-man front this time. He hands it off. Peterson brings him down at the 40. Not a big gain on that run.
The lineman just failed to open up any holes to run through or give him room to work with.
Round left, X80 on 2. Right.
McNabb sets up, drops back to throw. With the throw, he hauls in the catch, out of bounds.
I think the quarterback just let that one get away.
Ace right, Y23 on 2.
Passing situation here. Fifth play of this drive. Drops back to throw. Out over to the left. Harrison was the intended receiver. It was a good shot, but it falls incomplete.
He's obviously got a cannon for an arm, but sometimes on the shorter passes, you have to know when to put some touch on it.
Player will punt it away.
Set.
Boston felt the defense bearing down on him there.
He did the right thing, concentrated and caught the ball.
Ball on their own 14. The tight end goes in motion. He tucks it away. Brooks pulls him down at the 11.
Eagle left wide. Sail on 2. Right.
Ball on their own 11. Greasy passes right. Flowers makes the stop at the 24. He had a nice, quick release on that pass.
Yeah, that's what the receiver's first job is, to catch the ball. And once he has control of the ball, then he can look to stretch it for a big gain.
A side left, 27 on 2.
Blitz is coming. George tucks it away. Lewis with the tackle at the 30.
Eagle left Z, 33 court on 1. Right.
Greasy with a man in motion. He hands it off. Brooks stops the play in the backfield. The offensive line didn't get much of a push on that play, and the runner was stuck.
As soon as he got the ball, there was a defender in his face to knock him down.
Right.
Greasy back to throw. Out over to the left. Carter with the reception. Dawkins with the takedown at the 42. Carter makes a big third down conversion right there.
This quarterback is going to look to him each and every time on third down because he always makes a play for him.
Fifth play of this drive. The receiver goes in motion. He's looking to throw. Rolling out to his right. Pass complete. Roll. Brings him down at the 36.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense, number 21.
Penalties always hurt you, but penalties that take you out of scoring position will absolutely kill you.
Round left, X80 on 2.
Ball on the 21-yard line. Big set this time. Through the middle. Brooks brings him down at the 17.
Committing to the running game will add effectiveness to your passing attack. When the defense is looking pass, you run. When the defense is looking run, you go downfield.
We'll see what they do inside the red zone here. Ball on the 17-yard line. Blitz is on with the carry. Roll makes the stop at the 10. What makes Eddie George so good?
Well, he's got all the skills that make great players. He's strong, has good hands, and he's mentally tough. Heck, this guy's got it all.
Ball on the 10-yard line. The tight end goes in motion. They're blitzing. Brooks brings him down at the 11. It looked like the offensive line collapsed on that play.
The offensive line has to get good movement on the snap of the ball for the inside run to work, and it didn't happen on that play.
Ball on the 11-yard line. They'll line up in the I formation. Wycheck in motion. Greasy hands it off. George with the juke.
They're showing a real commitment to the running game out there today. They'll probably keep pounding in there again and again.
Third and goal. Greasy to throw with the throw. Pass is complete. Touchdown. He gets that short pass into the end zone for the touchdown on that one.
Yeah, that guy created some room and showed good body control to maintain control of that one.
The kick is up. The point after is good. They're up by a touchdown now. He gets it off. He takes a knee. First and 10. Everybody up on the line. McNabb to throw with the pass. Knocked away. He forces that pass into coverage.
Yeah, that guy trusts his arm. He thought he could rifle it in there.
I right 20, cross on 2.
Second and 10. The home team down by one touchdown. Drops back to throw with the pass. Holt with the reception. Holt is a very dangerous receiver.
I'd call him more than dangerous. This guy can fly. You got to put your best defender on him, or he's gone.
McNabb back to throw. Throws left. Harrison, the intended receiver. He gunned that one.
I don't think this quarterback knows what touch means.
Ball on their own 36. The receiver in motion. Here's the blitz. James runs up the middle. Ball on their own 41. McNabb with a man in motion. He's looking to throw. Pass is left. Intercepted. Loose ball. They got that one back.
To the right, 23 on 1. Right.
James, the lone setback. Throws it out over the middle. Pass is complete. What do you think about Freddie Jones, John?
This guy's one of the best tight ends in the league.
Ball on the 30-yard line. The visiting team with a four-man front. McNabb back to pass. Out over to the left. He fires a bullet, but nobody comes up with it.
A little less arm on the ball could have helped.
Second and 10. Ball on the 30-yard line. Looking to throw it. Rolling out to his right. Woodson stops him at the 26. McNabb took matters into his own hands there.
And with some quarterbacks, you got to watch out that they don't take off on you. Everyone has to be aware.
Look right, X33 on 1.
Passing situation here. Holt, the motion man. He's looking to throw. With the throw. Pass complete. Springs stops him at the 14. A quick decision by the quarterback on that one.
This guy's just like a gunslinger. He's never in a position where he thinks the throw is impossible.
Ball on the 14-yard line. They're inside the 15. McNabb hands it off. Peterson makes the stop at the 17. They're inside the 20. McNabb gets set. Looking to turn it upfield. Rice brings him down at the 15. Not much on that play.
Yeah, you talk about a defensive line winning the battle, and this is what you mean. The running back gets to the line, and there's nowhere to go after that.
They're inside the 15. Nickel back in this time. McNabb's back to throw. Throws left. The pass is complete. How about Peter Warwick, John?
He's a big play type of receiver. He's fast and elusive with all the skills to be a great receiver.
Varela pulls him down at the 1. He tried to make something happen there.
Yeah, but the defense contained him. There was no way they were going to let him out. They got after him pretty quickly there.
Ball on the 1. James, the deep man. Blitz. He gets the toss. Touchdown. He just made it past the goal line.
It sure was. His lineman created a little push, and the back just slammed right in there and got past the goal line.
The kick is up. The point after attempt sails through. He gets it off. They'll start this drive from the 30. They've in a hurry. He hands it off. George takes it to the outside.
Coaches will generally try to get an even mix of run and pass plays out there. Basically, continuity will add effectiveness to both.
Blitz. He hands it off. Flowers with the tackle at the 35. Ball on their own 35. Ball on their own 35. The rush is on. He hands it off.
When you're making a game plan for the week, you look for your running game to be reliable like this. Doesn't have to pick up a ton of yardage. You just want to do something that the defense has to be aware of.
Cooper will punt it away.
22, see it, on 1.
The visiting team with a 4-man front. Back to throw. McNabb with the pass. That pass ran away from him.
That pass was clearly overthrown.
Strong eye right, wide 60, read feed on 2.
Ball on their own 20.
Set.
Warwick, the motion man.
Hut. Hut.
Play action fake. McNabb throws right. It looks to me like he put a little too much on that one, John.
You've obviously got a cannon for an arm, but sometimes on the shorter passes, you have to know when to put some touch on it.
Ball on their own 20.
Hut, hut. 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 Hut, hut.
Steps back. With the throw. Jones was the intended target. The pass does not find its target.
Yeah, they practice this play again and again during the week to prepare. But simulating how the defense is going to react is a very hard thing to do.
The home team will punt it here.
Set. Hut, hut.
A fumble.
Right.
First and 10. Greasy hands it off. Woolward with the takedown at the 47. That was a great effort by George on that play.
Yeah, he really gave up his body on that play. And let me tell you, he paid for it.
Right.
He's looking to throw. Greasy throws right. Boston was the intended receiver.
Pass interference. Defense.
Ball on the 42-yard line. Greasy gets set. He's looking to throw. Throws left. Boston with the reception. Dawkins makes the stop at the 42. Greasy just gunned that one in there.
The quarterback delivered that pass right on the mark. There's no defense for a perfect pass.
Wing right X 46 on 2. Right.
Second and 10. The home team with a 4-man front. The visiting team used motion. Back to pass. Out over to the right. Carter dropped it. Greasy was under intense pressure.
And that's a right decision in that case. Get rid of the ball and take the incomplete.
Right.
Back to pass. With the pass. Picked off. Fumble. That was a lucky bounce.
That was a foot race to the fumble. Looks like the extra wind sprints at practice are paying off.
to the 38-yard line. With the pass, Boston was the intended receiver. He put a little too much on that one.
And you want to lead the receiver so that he can catch and run, but you don't want to lead him that much.
Greasy sets up. Back to the pass. With the pass. Carter with the reception.
On right 22, see it, on one.
It's a blitz. Greasy fires it out over the middle. Brooks pulls him down at the 30. He didn't get the first on that play.
You got to wonder what they're thinking running a play short of the first down marker on third down. Maybe they were trying to give themselves a little more room for the punt.
Brown out to try the field goal. The kick is up. The kicker gets all of that one. The visiting team out in front. He gets it off. A fumble. The home team only a field goal down. Pass is right. Jones, the intended receiver. Hardy didn't even give the receiver a chance.
The receiver just didn't have good position on him.
Strong eye right, Y60 read D on 2. Right.
2nd and 10.
Set.
The tight end goes in motion. He hands it off. James looking for room.
A good mix of run plays and pass plays is important. It helps you keep the other team honest out there.
Congratulations to the fans sitting
I
in
left
section
big
21.
Y30 on
Row
one.
11, seat 11. You just won a free EA Sports video game.
About 8 yards. Back to pass. Pass is right. Batted away. He got a hand on that pass.
He just stayed with the coverage, and he got his hand right in there.
The home team will punt it here.
Set.
He couldn't get it going there.
Nope, the coverage team had him wrapped up before he could do anything with it.
First and 10. George tucks it away. And there's a man down. We'll go to the sideline as soon as there's news.
Round left, X80 on 2. Right.
The visiting team up by 3. Greasy hands it off. He was cut down quickly there.
He was waiting for something to develop, and whap, he got developed.
Round right, 22, see it on 1.
3rd and 6. The visiting team using motion. Quick drop. With the throw. No one catches that bullet.
That pass was a rope. Too bad the rope didn't end up in the receiver's hand.
The visiting team will punt it here. Warwick felt the defense bearing down on him there.
He did the right thing, concentrated and caught the ball.
Ball on their own 11. It's a blitz. McNabb hands it off. Peterson drags down the ball carrier behind the line. Deep in their own territory. Ball on their own 9. Play action fake.
That was a huge defensive play. Let's see how he got in there for the sack.
That guy just showed some great natural ability. He was able to move with the snap and then just sliced in there to drop the quarterback.
Ball inside their own 5. Blitz is coming through the middle. Woodson makes the stop at the 7. Player will punt it away. Boston was brought down without getting anywhere.
I almost thought he might have a seam there. I guess I was just seeing things.
Leslie, have you heard anything down there?
It doesn't look promising, Pat. He'll have to spend some time on the sidelines healing.
Thanks, Leslie. Well, it sounds like he's out for this one, John.
Yeah, whenever these guys go down like that, they want to make sure that they don't misdiagnose anything. So if they're saying it's not a serious injury, well, you can trust that.
Round left, X80 on 2.
Ball on the 46-yard line. George gets the carry. Lewis makes the stop at the 46. Ray Lewis looks in rare form today.
Oh, yeah, he's having a great day. Every player should play with this guy's intensity.
47-yard line. Nickel back in this time. He's looking to throw with the pass. Toomer was the intended target.
He threw it behind his target.
Yeah, and one of the hardest things for a receiver to do is stop and come back.
Cooper.
Back to punt.
Side left, 27, on 2.
Ball on their own 20.
Set. Punt. 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 Punt.
He's looking to throw with the pass. Holt was the intended receiver. He overthrows that pass.
And he has to be careful. Not only is that pass off target, but it's also a good way to get your receiver decked.
Wrong eye right, Y60 read C on 2.
2nd and 10. Ball on their own 20. Blitz is on. Caught. Woodson with the tackle at the 43. Donovan McNabb looks like he's on target today.
Yeah, he really looks sharp. He's hitting all his receivers in stride, and he's taking the team right down the field.
Wing right X46 on 2.
Ball on their own 43. McNabb under the center with the pass. James with the reception. Ball on their own 41. The home team can tie it up with 3. And he makes a nice juke move. They need 6. Ball on their own 46. Out over to the right. Jones with the reception.
The receiver showed excellent body control bringing that pass in.
If he can make catches like that regularly, he can expect to see more passes thrown in his direction.
I left 30 on 1.
They're just about in field goal range. McNabb gets set. Out over to the left. Holt with the reception. Second and 1. Back to pass with the pass.
Round right 22, see it on 1.
7th play of this drive.
Hut! Hut! Hut!
Blitz. Martin with the carry. Murray lines up for the field goal. He gets the kick off. The kick is off. It's good. Not a lot of scoring going on today. He gets it off. He takes a knee.
Congratulations to the person seated in section 25, row 22.
First and 10.
You've just won a new car.
He hands it off. Brooks pulls him down at the 24.
This is the kind of running game that you hope to get every game. Moving the ball consistently is a goal of every coach when a game day arrives.
They need 6. Greasy drops back, out over to the right, batted down. He just knocked it down.
An interception would have been nice, but a great play either way.
High right, 21 on 2.
3rd and 6. Mohammed comes in motion. Greasy drops back with the pass. Mohammed with the reception. Mohammed can really create big plays.
This guy's their big weapon on offense. Whenever they need a first down, they turn to him, and he just always seems to get open.
Ace right, Y23 on 2.
George gets the toss. Dawkins with the takedown at the 32. George was dropped behind the line there.
Yeah, and if you want to talk about the most effective way to stop the run, it's playing on the other side of the ball. When you get penetration like that, it's very hard for the offense to get positive yardage.
2nd and 10. He tucks it away, and he makes a nice juke move. Nine yards to go. Only one man back. Step back. Greasy lets the pass fly. Caught. Madison with the takedown at the 38. Whitecheck didn't get past the marker.
On 3rd down, the receiver has to be aware of where that marker is. There's no excuse for running a route that doesn't take you beyond it.
Tupa awaits the snap. Warwick felt the defense bearing down on him there.
He did the right thing, concentrated and caught the ball.
First and 10. McNabb sets up. It's a blitz. James with the juke. The defense was quick to recognize what they wanted to do there.
He tried to get to the outside, but the defense was watching his every move. When he tried to turn the corner, they were right there to get him.
Ball on their own 20. McNabb drops back with the pass. Picked off.
Throwing into coverage like that is like playing Russian roulette. Eventually, you're going to lose.
A side left, 27, on 2. Right.
They're inside the 20. Greasy passes left. Brooks brings him down at the 7. How about that Jay Reimers, John?
He just keeps getting better and better each year, and he's become a favorite target for his quarterback. Inside the 10-yard line is when he becomes the most dangerous.
1 minute left. So it's first and goal, using motion. Blitz. George runs up the middle. Brooks stops him dead at the 7. They stop him short.
The defense got right in there and shut that play down.
Right.
Second and goal. Greasy to throw it. Rolling out to his right with the pass. And he can't hang on to it. Boston drops it.
That's the old rule. If you get your hands on it, you got to catch it.
Ball on the 7-yard line. Greasy back to throw. Passes left. Pass complete. Touchdown.
He flips the pass in there for the touchdown.
He outplayed the defender for the ball on that play. The guy with the best position usually will come up with it.
It's up. The extra point attempt is good. The visiting team go up by a touchdown. Brown gets it off. The home team start the drive from the 24. McNabb under the center. Quick drop. Out over to the right. They're blitzing. with the pass. Hope with the reception. Springs with the tackle at the 30.
Hope showed excellent body control bringing that pass in.
That was a great catch. Maybe the quarterback should go to him more often.
Ball on their own 30. McNabb steps back, throws left, intercepted. The defender is there to make the play.
Wing right X 46 on 2.
First and 10. Steps back. Greasy out over to the right.
Timeout called by the offense. That's their final timeout.
Brown lines up for the field goal. The kick is up. The kick splits the uprights. That score gives them a nice cushion. Brown gets it off. First and 10. He tucks it away. Rice makes the stop at the 23. We're ready to start the second half of play. Brown gets it off. The home team take over on the 27. We'll go to Leslie Visser, who has a halftime update for us.
Pat, I asked the head coach about the kind of adjustments they made in the locker room. He told me he can't remember a game when he was more frustrated with his players. He said he just didn't think that the concentration and effort that's required to win was apparent on the field in the first half. A few of his players mentioned that he'd given quite an inspirational speech to the team in the locker room. Let's see if that will be enough to turn it around. Pat?
That was Leslie Visser with her sideline report.
Strong eye right, Y60 read Z on 2. Right.
McNabb to throw it with the pass. Harrison, the intended receiver. He didn't even let it get to the receiver.
An interception would have been nice, but a great play either way.
Third and long. McNabb under the center. Back to pass. Rice got the quarterback. Player awaits the snap. Boston felt the defense bearing down on him there.
He did the right thing, concentrated and caught the ball.
I left fake wide 30 on 1.
Ball on their own 34. First and 10. Muhammad comes in motion. Greasy hands it off. Lewis brings him down at the 38. They'll try to pick up some yards on the ground.
This team's always trying to get a good mix of run and pass plays.
Round right 22, the in on 1. Right.
The rush is on. George gets the carry. Ball on their own 39. Back to throw. With the pass. The pass is complete. Greasy has become one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, he's taking up where his dad left off. He's got the arm, and he's incredibly tough for a quarterback. Ball on the 50-yard line. Greasy drops back to throw. With the throw. Whoa! Stops him at the 36. He catches a bullet for the first down. And it's a good thing he caught it. You don't want to drop those passes for first down.
Right X33 on 1.
They're just about in field goal range. Carter, the motion man. He's looking to throw. Greasy with the pass. Carter, the intended target. Roll, just knocked it down.
You know, the quarterback needs to put that ball in a position where the defender can't get to it. That didn't happen there.
Greasy sets up. He's looking to throw. With the throw. Muhammad, the intended target. He makes a great play by breaking that pass up.
You know, the quarterback needs to put that ball in a position where the defender can't get to it. That didn't happen there.
Round left X80 on 2.
Third and 10. Man in motion. Back to throw. Greasy passes right. Intercepted. Buchanan picks off the misdirected pass.
That may have just been a case of miscommunication. Nothing seemed to go right there.
Remember, fans are not allowed on the field at any time.
Four-man front this time. McNabb back to pass. Throws left. Woodson stops him at the 48. Peter Warwick can really create big plays.
Yeah, this guy can turn any play into a big play. If he's got the ball and the play is broken, the defense had better watch out. His ability to make a broken play go for a big play is incredible.
McNabb back to pass. Throws right. Hope the intended target. McNabb saw the pressure coming on that play.
The play didn't work because the quarterback's timing and balance was off. When he starts to feel pressure, he gets a little nervous, and he has to get rid of the ball.
The visiting team with a four-man front. Back to throw. Pass is right. Picked off. It's intercepted. He threw that one into coverage.
Split right C80 on 2. Right.
Quick drop. Greasy throws left. Lewis makes a great play by breaking that pass up.
Yep, nothing fancy there. Don't even give the receiver a chance. Just knock it down.
We remind you that beer will not be served after the end of the third quarter.
Second and 10. Carter, the motion man. Drops back to throw. Greasy drove right.
How did that guy get in there, John?
The defender just uses instincts and speed to move around the block. You see, he's already got the angle on the quarterback.
So we're in a passing situation. Mohammed in motion. Greasy back to throw. Burnett brings him down at the 29.
Let's see how they got to the quarterback on this one.
Watch that guy go. There wasn't anybody on the field who was going to stop him there.
Cooper.
Back to punt.
He couldn't get it going there.
I almost thought he might have a seam there. I guess I was just seeing things.
I left big wide 30 on 1.
First and 10. McNabb under the center. Franks goes in motion. Here's the blitz. Peterson pulls him down at the 37. Runs to the middle, but there's nothing there.
The defense had great penetration, and they were right there to cover their gap assignments.
The home team used motion. Blitz is coming. Runs up the middle. Woodson makes the stop at the 36. James went nowhere.
Went nowhere fast.
Inside left, 27, on 2.
Third and long. Steps back. Out over to the left. Harrison, the intended receiver. McNabb didn't get it to his man.
There was no way he was going to get to that one.
The home team will punt it here.
Set. Punt on.
Boston could smell the end zone.
And then he just ran out of steam. But I'll tell you this, he gave him great field position.
Split right X33, on 1.
First and 10. Ball on their own 42. Steps back. Greasy passes right. Wycheck, the intended receiver. Batted down.
Nothing will frustrate a receiver more than knocking away his pass.
Leslie, anything new from the sideline?
Well, the team can let out a collective sigh, as I've just been informed that it's not too severe. He should be back in action soon.
Thanks for the update, Leslie. Sounds like he'll be back soon.
Yeah, when you play at this level, you become very familiar with pain.
Greasy throws a tight spiral on that pass.
That guy's always had a great arm. That's something you can't teach.
First and 10. Play action fake with the throw, and he can't hang on to it. Incomplete. That pass was thrown too hard.
I don't think this quarterback knows what touch means.
Round right 22, the in, on 1.
Second and 10. Here's the blitz. Burnett stops the play in the backfield.
The running game's not been a factor all day.
Split right C80, on 2.
Ball on the 48-yard line. Ball at midfield. Back to pass. With the pass. And he's got his man. He got stopped short on that catch.
You know, I don't know why you call a play that doesn't take your receiver past that first down marker.
Brown lines up for the field goal. He'll need to kick this one perfectly. Splits the uprights, and good. The visiting team made it a two-score game. He gets it off.
If they want to make this a game, they have to buckle down, avoid mistakes, and work hard to dig themselves out of this hole.
I left, Y cross, read X, on 1.
Four-man front this time. Drops back to throw. With the throw. And he's got his man. Ball on their own 46. Through the middle. Peterson pulls him down at the 48. He tried to get to the corner.
Yeah, he tried to stretch it outside, but the defense was quick to react to the play, and even quicker to move off their blocks and get in a position to cover the hole.
McNabb sets up. They're blitzing with the carry. Holasek stops him at midfield.
Face mask on the defense, number 57.
The refs are signaling that he grabbed his face mask.
Sometimes the defender will do whatever it takes to get a guy down. This time he got caught pulling him down by the mask.
Looking to turn it upfield. First and 10. Fakes the handoff. McNabb out over to the right. That shot falls incomplete.
Well, he slung it in there, but the receiver just couldn't come up with it.
Second and 10. The home team used motion. James with the juke.
Attention fans, please
Red right
refrain from
X33
throwing
on 1.
objects onto the field.
The home team line up with 3 wide receivers with the pass, and he can't hang on to it. Hits him in the hands, but falls incomplete.
Sometimes you see the receivers drop the easiest passes. They must be thinking touchdown before making the catch.
Player awaits the snap. Greasy drops back to throw with the pass. Madison with the tackle at the 41. First and 10. The visiting team using motion. Blitz is on. Lewis stops him at the 41.
I left. Y cross. Read X. On 1. Right.
Fakes the handoff. Out over to the right. Greasy forces the ball in there despite excellent coverage.
That guy has a great arm. Sometimes he takes some chances and he throws into coverage.
Right.
He's looking to throw. Price got the quarterback. Price wasn't going to be denied the sack on that play.
Yeah, he went all out to get the quarterback. When you got his size, it makes it very hard for a quarterback to escape his grasp.
The visiting team will punt it here. Warwick felt the defense bearing down on him there.
He did the right thing, concentrated and caught the ball.
Eagle FC 33 corner on 1.
First and 10. McNabb gets set. The home team used motion.
Hut. Hut. What hut? Hut.
They're blitzing. Brown brings him down at the 18.
Ace right, Y23 on 2. Set. Hut.
Back to pass with the pass. Harrison was the intended target. McNabb unloads the ball before he really wanted to.
I'm not surprised that that pass went incomplete. I don't think he could even see past that big old defensive lineman rushing him.
I right 20, cross on 2.
Nickel back in this time. Back to pass with the pass. Pass is complete. Warwick didn't make it.
That's the kind of mental error that drives coaches crazy. As a receiver, you got to be aware of where you are in the field and where you have to go to get the first down.
Player back to punt.
Set. Hut.
Boston felt the defense bearing down on him there.
He did the right thing, concentrated and caught the ball.
Leslie, what have you heard on the sidelines about the injury?
Well, the team can let out a collective sigh, as I've just been informed that it's not too severe. He should be back in action soon.
Thanks for the update, Leslie. It sounds like he'll be back soon.
Yeah, when you play at this level, you become very familiar with pain.
Strong I right, Y60 read Z on 2.
Ball on their own 29. Carter moves in motion. Here's the blitz. Boyer with the takedown at the 29. ball on their own 29. Back to throw. Greasy lets the pass fly. Dawkins brings him down at the 47.
Split right Z80 on 2.
First and 10. And we'll start the fourth quarter.
Eagle left wide. Sail on 2.
Ball at about midfield. Play action fake with the throw. Batted down. Greasy takes a chance with that pass.
He's taking a big chance by throwing it into a crowd like that.
Strong eye right. Y60 read Z on 2. Right.
Ball at about midfield. Here's the blitz. George gets the carry. Ball on the 48-yard line. Fifth play of this drive. Greasy drops back to throw. Rolling right with the throw. Mohammed was the intended target. He didn't get it to his man.
And he has to be careful. Not only is that pass off target, but it's also a good way to get your receiver decked.
Cooper back to punt. Ball on their own 20. Blitz. McNabb with the throw. How about Marvin Harrison?
He always seems to be open, no matter what defense is called. Defensive coaches don't like matchups against this guy.
Eye right 20. Cross on 2. Right.
Back to throw with the pass. Complete. Vincent makes the stop at the 45.
Strong eye right. Y60 read Z on 2.
Ball on the 45-yard line. Looking to throw it with the throw. Holt was the intended target. Overthrown.
I wonder if that one slipped out of his hand. It was clearly off target.
Round left X80 on 2.
Third and 2. He's looking to throw with the pass. Batted away. The bullet falls incomplete.
He's obviously got a cannon for an arm, but sometimes on the shorter passes, you have to know when to put some touch on it.
Eye right 21 on 2. Right.
James tucks it away. He bulldozes through the line for the first.
That was like a big piece of heavy equipment out there, moving this thing here and that thing there and getting where he needed to go.
Fifth play of this drive. McNabb lets it fly. Holt was the intended receiver. He throws it into coverage.
And it's almost better to take the sack there because you don't want that pass to get picked off.
Second and 10. Looking to throw it. Out over to the left. Harrison was the intended target. McNabb overthrows his target.
He's got to be careful with throws like that. There's a good chance of hurting his receiver or throwing a pick.
Ball on the 42-yard line.
The defense really bears down on third down.
Looking to throw it. With the throw. Freeman with the reception. What is Antonio Freeman best at?
He's a tremendous athlete and a big play threat. He plays under control, and he shows great awareness on the field.
They're inside the 15. Eighth play of this drive. He cuts it away. Peterson brings him down at the 14. Ball on the 14-yard line. James gets the carry. Ball on the 12-yard line. Looking to throw it with the pass. What a stop.
The defense remained focused, and they're making it hard on this team to come back.
I right 20, cross on 2.
Ball on the 12-yard line.
Set. Put hot. Put hot. Put hot.
McNabb back to throw. With the throw, Freeman was the intended receiver. The defense refused to give in on that series of downs.
The offense is going to have to be a little more creative with their play calls the next time they get close to the goal line. The defense had their number this time.
Deep in their own territory. Looking to throw it. With the pass. Mohammed was the intended receiver. He put a lot of velocity on that pass.
If he throws it any harder, the skin might come off the ball.
Ace left 40, cross on 1.
Second and 10. Here's the blitz. Burnett stops him at the 12. Greasy sets up. Man in motion.
Put hot.
Blitz is on. George with the carry. Darius stops him at the 23. How about Eddie George, John?
He's the type of running back who will never would be tackled, then carry other defenders into the end zone on his back.
Right, 23 on one.
Ball on their own 23. George gets the toss. Madison pulls him down at the 21. He wanted to get to the corner on that play.
That's great containment by the defense. They were all in the right position, and there was just no place for him to run.
Greasy back in the shotgun. Quick drop with the pass. Caught, but he was out of bounds.
As a quarterback, you're supposed to put the ball where only the receiver can get it. I think somebody should have told him that he also needs to keep it in bounds.
Ace left 40, cross on one. Right.
George gets the carry. McCrary stops him at the 25.
This back is starting to rack up some good yardage. Keep handing the ball and keep moving the chains.
Cooper back to punt. Warwick felt the defense bearing down on him there.
He did the right thing, concentrated and caught the ball.
Split right X 33 on one. Right.
Ball on their own 36. McNabb to throw it. Throws left. Complete. Woodson with the tackle at the 45. Showed a strong arm and a lightning release on that throw.
What a throw. He put everything he had into that one.
Ball on their own 45. McNabb drops back. Passes right. Powell was the intended target. McNabb fires a bullet, but nobody comes up with it.
He just threw that pass too hard. The receiver might have caught up with the ball if he used a little more touch.
Under a yard to go. Ball on their own 45 with the pass. And he can't hang on. Freeman drops it.
Yeah, if you drop those third down passes, you're going to have a lonely flight home.
Split right X 33 on one. Right.
James gets the toss. Polasek brings him down at the 44. What do you think about Edgerrin James?
He's a good runner whose vision seems to get better every year. He's going to have a great career when it's all said and done.
I left 30 on one.
First and 10. Ball on the 44-yard line. Passes right. Holt, the intended receiver. Lots of pressure, but he gets it away.
Yeah, he had to get rid of the ball in a hurry.
Strong eye right Z. Hook on two.
Ball on the 44-yard line. 2nd and 10. Looking to throw it. McNabb throws left. The quarterback didn't hesitate on that pass.
That was quite a throw. This guy's been blessed with a golden arm.
So we're in a passing situation. Sixth play of this drive. Looking to throw it. Jones with the reception. He didn't get past the marker.
On 3rd down, the receiver has to be aware of where that marker is. There's no excuse for running a route that doesn't take you beyond it.
Split right C8 on 2.
Ball on the 36-yard line. And he gets the toss. Brings him down at the 40. Why would the team go for it there, John?
Maybe he thought his team could make a play when it really mattered. Now they've given the other team a chance on offense.
I right 20, cross on 2.
Greasy gets set. The rush is on. He gets the carry. Brooks pulls him down at the 40. Eddie George is a strong runner.
Yeah, he's a running back who's very hard to bring down. And he can take it the distance if defenders try and strip the ball from him rather than wrapping him up.
First and 10. The receiver in motion. Looking to throw it with the pass. Knocked down.
Boulware swatted that one down.
You know, the quarterback needs to put that ball in a position where the defender can't get to it. That didn't happen there.
He tucks it away. George runs up the middle.
A good mix of run plays and pass plays is important. It helps you keep the other team honest out there.
It's a blitz. McCrary hauls him down behind the line. I'm not sure about that play call.
They're going to keep running the ball and pounding away at the defense. They'll keep the clock moving, and eventually the defense will be so tired they won't be able to stop anything.
The visiting team will punt it here. First and 10. Ball on their own 20. McNabb drops back, throws left, knocked away.
Benson knocked that one down.
He was in a great position to make that play.
Strong eye right seat, hook on 2. Set. Put hot.
Back to pass. Pass is left. Holt was the intended target.
He overthrows it.
Yeah, that one had too much mustard on it. Either that or he released it at the wrong point.
Ace option Y. Read Z on 2.
Passing situation here.
Yeah, and you can't win if you can't convert third down.
McNabb drops back. Passes right. The defense came up big on that incompletion.
This is where you have to clamp down. Play tight, keep the pressure on.
The home team will punt it here. Boston felt the defense bearing down on him there.
He did the right thing. Concentrated and caught the ball.
Ball on their own 39. Blitz is on. Looking for room.
A-side left, 27, on 2.
Ball on their own 43. Greasy gets set. George looking to turn it upfield. Brooks with the takedown at the 44. He didn't get much on that run.
That guy got knocked around by that defense. He needs a little protection from his linemen.
Ace left 40, cross on 1.
They'll go from the I formation. Man in motion. Greasy to throw. Out over to the left. Wycheck, the intended receiver. Greasy put a little too much on that one.
That pass was clearly overthrown.
Cooper back to punt. Warwick felt the defense bearing down on him there.
He did the right thing. Concentrated and caught the ball.
Ace option 1, read D on 2.
Ball on their own 15. Jones, the motion man. Here's the blitz. McNabb with the pass. Knocked down. He felt the pressure there.
And I'll tell you, the toughest thing to do as a quarterback is to throw it accurately when there's a big old defensive player in your face.
Round right 22, Z in on 1. Set. Put hot. Hot.
Quick drop with the throw. The home team don't look as well prepared as their opponents today.
If your team can't hold on to the ball, it usually leads to a loss.
Right.
Ball on the 12-yard line. Using motion. Greasy hands it off. Touchdown.
A great touchdown there, John.
He sure did. That guy just found a crack in the defense, and he charged right into the end zone.
Right.
He gets it off. The extra point attempt is good. The visiting team are having their way with this defense. He gets it off. He downs it in the end zone.
Wing right fake, react on 1. Right.
First and 10. McNabb drops back with the throw. Batted down. He fires a bullet, but nobody comes up with it.
He's obviously got a cannon for an arm, but sometimes on the shorter passes, you have to know when to put some touch on it.
Eagle FC 33 quarter on 1. Right.
Second and 10. Steps back. Scrambling with the pass. Harrison with the reception. Harrison can dominate in any given game.
Yeah, this guy could really break the game open when he's playing with this type of intensity.
First and 10. McNabb to throw it. Throws left. Knocked away. Batted away.
You know, he did what you taught to do. That's take away the ability for the receiver to catch the ball. He can't catch it when you knock it down.
Wing right fake, 3X on 1.
Right. Almost at the 2-minute mark now. Steps back. Scrambling. Passes right. Freeman with the reception.
Eagle FC 33 short on 1. Right.
First and 10. Steps back with the throw. Hope was the intended receiver. He just dropped that pass.
And there's really no excuse for that. You just have to catch those balls.
Strong eye right deep. Hook on 2. Right.
Leslie, anything new from the sideline?
Well, the team can let out a collective sigh, as I've just been informed that it's not too severe. He should be back in action soon.
Thanks, Leslie. That's good news.
And with these guys in this kind of shape, they'll be able to bounce back quickly.
Holosek made a great play and broke up that pass.
You know, he did what you taught to do. That's take away the ability for the receiver to catch the ball. He can't catch it when you knock it down.
Ace left 40. Cross on 1.
Right. Ball on the 39-yard line. The offense has sputtered out on third down all game long. Back to pass. Johnson with the throw. Benson stops him at the 33. Warwick caught it short of the first down marker.
That receiver just didn't show very good concentration on that play. You plan the play, the quarterback makes a good pass, and poor execution by the receiver means that your offense heads back to the sideline.
2 minutes to the final gun. Ball on the 33-yard line. Back to pass. Johnson passes left. Holosek with the tackle at the 25. Ball on the 25-yard line. Johnson drops back with the pass. He dropped it. He saw the pressure and got rid of the ball.
The play didn't work because the quarterback's timing and balance was off. When he starts to feel pressure, he gets a little nervous, and he has to get rid of the ball.
Second and 10. The quarterback is back in the shotgun. Back to throw with the pass, and he can't hang on to it. That pass was a laser beam.
That pass was a rope. Too bad the rope didn't end up in the receiver's hand.
I left 30 on 1.
Third and 10. Steps back. Out over to the left. Harris with the reception.
He's short of the first down with that catch.
That kind of thing always makes me shake my head. What was the guy thinking? A short pass reception like that will never get you the yardage you need to move past the first down marker.
Johnson with the throw. I wonder why the team would try for the first down there, John.
Generally, you don't want to put your defense out there with the backs up against the wall. Coach must not have much faith in his special teams.
Congratulations to the person
I left
seated in
wide
section
30 on
36,
one.
row 4, seat 8. You've won a dream day for 2.
Blitz is on. George on the run.
Down by number 42.
Ball on their own 20. Here's the blitz. Runs up the middle.
When you compound the team with your running game, it allows your defense to rest up and get ready to shut down their offense.
Ball on their own 22. The visiting team using motion. Here's the blitz with the carry. Sapp makes the stop at the 20.
Timeout called by the defense. The home team has 2 timeouts remaining.
Greasy hands it off. Dawkins with the tackle at the 25. This is Pat
Thanks for
Summerall and
attending
John
today's
Madden
game,
saying
and
goodbye
remember,
for
please
EA
don't drink
Sports.
and drive.